What can you discuss about Russia's involvement in the hacking to dispel any misguidance in the media? And how at risk is U.S. national security to these type of cyber attacks?
Well, President Obama has asked the DNI to lead an effort to produce a comprehensive review of what happened prior to and during the election and Russia's involvement. One of the misperceptions out there is that there's a disagreement between different elements of the intelligence community. I think we all are on the same sheet of music as far as our analysis, our assessment, and our intelligence.
How vulnerable is the U.S. to cyber attacks by state and non-state actors?
Well, it's one of the things that I'm very concerned about. The growth of that digital domain, that cyber environment where most of our lives are connected in one way or another to that environment. And it doesn't take nation states like a Russia or China to interfere with that environment, hacktivists, individuals. So what we need to do as a country is to understand what the vulnerabilities are, what the safeguards are, what the role of government needs to be in that cyber environment, because our future, our security, our prosperity really depends on it.
Has Syria been one of your most difficult challenges?
Syria, in my view, is the most complex issue that we have faced in my national security experience, because there's so many internal players and external players, and it is heartbreaking what is happening to a beautiful country and a beautiful people in terms of the bloodshed, the violence, and the instability that has racked that country. I believe that it's nothing short of a pogrom that has been perpetrated on the Syrian people by Bashar Assad with the assistance of Mr. Putin, as well as Hezbollah and the Iranians.
There are a lot of new alliances and al-Qaeda affiliates at work in Asia, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia. Can you talk a little bit about that?
There have been segments of societies within the East Asian, Southeast Asian countries that have adhered to the extremist ideology and terrorist ideologies that are out there. Al-Qaeda, for a number of years, had followers there. Very small numbers, but yet violent groups. I am concerned about some of the things that have been coming out from the Philippines in terms of what President Duterte has said about the United States.
Do you think that the Philippine president has done some damage with what he said publicly and his actions that he's taking on the ground in the Philippines against the networks that are operating there?
I think some of the comments coming out of the Philippine president have been irresponsible in some respects and dismissive of the importance of the relationship that has existed for many years between the United States and the Philippines. So I do think when people have these positions of being president, they have to be very responsible and disciplined in the words they choose, the messages they send, because it carries the force of their administrations and their governments.
What advice would you give to President-elect Donald Trump and to the administration, the new director that'll be entering into your position?
I am very hopeful and confident in many respects that the new team will recognize, hopefully very early on, that intelligence is not just a nice to have, it is a need to have. It's an essential part of a national security. And I do believe that if this country is going to stay safe and strong in the future, the CIA's role needs to be understood, appreciated, and leveraged for the good of this country.